Welcome to the Energy and Hours podcast, formerly called the Grow Like a Mother podcast. I'm your host, Jill Wright, author of Happy, Healthy, Wealthy, and Wise, and creator of the Time Magic Seasonal Planner. On this podcast, we talk about time and energy management tips that we can use to flow through our day in a way that feels more aligned. We focus a lot on how to use cyclical energy, seasonal cycles. We talk about productivity. We talk about self-care. We talk about rest. It all comes together in what I like to say is time magic. And if you tune into these episodes week after week, you're going to get a half an hour punch of tools, tips, and strategy advice for you to go and implement right away in your day to make your life feel a little bit more like you and a little bit less stressful. Hey, this is actually really fun if you're watching me on YouTube today because you get me in my kitchen. It's been a busy as fuck kind of week for us, and I swapped responsibilities for kid pickup, and instead I'm on dinner duty, and so I'm just sitting here babysitting the potatoes as they boil away, and as I talk to you about paper planners. So, if you are listening in today, you are probably someone who has ADHD or a very busy brain or relies on their digital calendar and is maybe coming guns a-blazing listening here, ready to fight me on this. But hear me out, because using a paper planner can be the magic tool when you have ADHD. And I literally just had a client Monday this week tell me the digital planner is everything to the ADHD brain. And I'm like, yes, it is a huge support, but it is not everything, because you are still having problems. You are not showing up to your meetings. You are not leaving on time for things or showing up on time. You are feeling scattered and overwhelmed, and you don't know what your priorities are. So how good is it actually working? What I want to talk to you guys about today is how we can use a paper planner in tandem with a digital calendar system, and why it's important to bring in that paper planner in the first place. I'm definitely not here to say give up your Google Cal or your Apple iCal, whatever that is. If that's something that works for you, please don't try to fix what isn't broken. But if you're somebody who is feeling like they need a little bit more structure than their calendar system currently gives them, that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. So, couple of reasons why I think and research shows, it's not just me thinking it, why a paper planner can be really, really good for someone who has ADHD or this is funny. I was just reading in National Geographic the other day that our modern society mimics the quick pace and the technology and the constant distractions makes all brains experience symptoms that are like ADHD symptoms. So even if you don't have ADHD, I think it's really worthwhile understanding why a paper planner can be helpful for you. Okay. So first thing, if you have an ADHD brain, your brain is highly interruptible, which means when you're on your phone doing your calendar thing, right? You're checking in, what's next, when's my next appointment, one notification or just innocently switching an app can really derail your momentum for hours. There's a stat that I talk about all the time that says if you're switching between tasks, it can take like up to 45 seconds to be able to have your brain readjust to the new thing. And if you're constantly switching tasks, your brain is never going to, it is never going to catch up. So when you're on your phone, all of those notifications, all of the things that can distract you, they're right there in front of you, right? A paper planner offers you instead a single focus environment, no pings, no tabs, no dings, no dopamine traps, right? When you pick the paper planner up, you're reinforcing the intentionality instead of reacting to whatever comes your way. So that is the first reason, zero digital distractions. A second reason why a paper planner is your best friend if you have ADHD. Physically writing, activates multiple different sensory pathways, be they visual, motor, tactile, right? Which ADHD brains need to encode information. So if you have ADHD, it's likely that you remember tasks better when you have physically written them down, right? Physically writing things down with pen and paper, that mind-body connection, it can boost memory and follow through. So that is what we want. Another reason that paper planners win in the ADHD game, they have built-in structure, right? Yes, a calendar on your phone can give you structure as well. But specifically talking about the time magic planner, it's structure without rigidity, right? So digital systems can feel kind of endless. There's no start, there's no finish. It just goes on forever. You have thousands of features, unlimited pages. You can do as much color coding as you want, automate it. Whereas a paper planner creates some natural boundaries, which can be really relieving for the ADHD nervous system. There's just today, there's just this week that you're looking at. You're just reviewing what is in front of you until you flip the page. So this reduces overwhelm and it reduces decision fatigue when you're looking at a paper planner in a very structured way without the rigidity. Okay. Also helps that it's a 90-day system. When we talk about time magic planners, 90 days is really intentional. It is enough time to be able to focus. It is not too long that you lose your intention, life changes, things happen, but it's long enough that you can continue momentum and see patterns, which we track. Okay. Going off track a bit. The fourth reason why a paper planner is thebomb.com. It has a visual layout that helps you with time blindness. Okay. And I specifically made sure that this was true for the Time Magic seasonal planner. Most ADHD brains struggle to visualize time. That's why I often will recommend going analog with your clocks if you have ADHD instead of a digital clock, like the clicking, the ticking of the hand on the clock can really be helpful for you. So in a planner like mine, seeing blocks and seeing your lists, and most importantly, seeing your empty space on a physical page, it can create some more concrete time awareness for you. So you're actually literally able to see your capacity or maybe your lack of capacity, and then you can make some decisions around what needs to come off your plate this week, right? This can make planning a lot more realistic and it can reduce accidental overwhelm and overcommitting, which happens to me still all the time. I'm sure we can all relate to that overcommitting one. It makes it a lot less likely that you're going to do that to yourself if you can see it in black and white and where your space is. One thing that a friend of mine mentioned who is autistic and has ADHD is she's like, it's really important for me not only to see where the open spaces are for what I can add in, but where's the open space so that I can prepare for energetically, like ramp up for a meeting and then take time after to ramp down. Like she needs to see, do I have physical space around the event, right? Way easier to do with paper. Another reason paper planners are great. Yes, I have more. I can just keep them coming all day long. Turning the page creates a reset moment for you. And ADHD brains need external cues to help them shift between tasks and between projects and between seasons. And so flipping a page can act like a mini ritual for you. Okay, this day is done. Okay, this week is new. Okay, this season has a focus and I am intentionally claiming it as XYZ. That's why we build in the life wheel at the beginning of each month, right? That's why we have a word of the week as we go through the Time Magic planning system. Super important. You can't get that kind of physical feedback of flipping a page on a phone. Okay, sixth reason. I think I'm on number six if anyone is out there keeping track, right? Maybe you're OCD as well as ADHD. I know I am OCD, and so I like to keep track. So I think we're on track. Technology, when we're looking at a digital calendar, technology really pulls your attention outward, right? And so you can you can feel like you're in this loop that's not really yours and it speeds up this loop of like giving energy out. Whereas paper in front of you can pull your attention inward. You can focus and bring the pace down, which is really important, right? It supports your regulation, your clarity, and your executive functioning. I'm going to pause real quick and I'm going to go turn my potatoes down. Give me 2 seconds here, folks. Thank you for the grace. Okay, here I am back. This is like a real behind the scenes one today. Cool. So, the next reason that I think a planner can work a lot better for you if you have ADHD brain is that there's nothing there's nothing hiding to derail you. Like there's no monster behind the closet popping out at you, which by the way, when I say monster behind the closet, I mean like hidden menus, settings, like places you can click, notifications, things that draw your attention, ads. These are all things that can distract you, right? And you can get derailed by this friction. Okay, you can go down the rabbit hole and just lose your track so easily because there are so many different things that sometimes you need to jump through hoops when you're on a digital planner, right? Paper planner gives you instant access. It's right here. You open it, you write, you're done. You close it. It is low friction, which means higher consistency. Consistency is what we need when we are working on a calendar management system, especially important for ADHD brains, routine, rhythm, consistency. This is one of the reasons that they are finding in the research that ADHD is often not diagnosed, especially in women, until they're older, when they're done their school years, right? As they go into new seasons of life, like motherhood, that have less consistency. I don't know about you guys. I went from like school straight to university, straight to a corporate job. There were built-in structures all around me all the time with routines and different things to keep me organized. And so that I didn't feel lost at sea, if you will, right? So I could be consistent. And so what they're finding now is that when you go through either a hormonal change or a life change, a seasonal change where some of that consistency, regularity, ritual, routine gets removed, that's when they're starting to see these symptoms come through in women, which is really interesting and a total tangent. But we'll get back to it. I have one more thing that I want to tell you about planners and why paper planners can be so good for an ADHD brain. It is rewarding and you need that dopamine. We are trying to slow down the dopamine a little bit, but what you're looking for is dopamine. What you're looking for is quick results, quick hits, quick wins, right? You want things to be fun. You want things to be unique and spontaneous and new, novel. Okay, cool. We can use that in a paper planner in a way that actually feels like it's going to be helpful. If you're watching this on YouTube, you may see my little thumb up. It's gone. I don't know why that happened. Okay, with the paper planner, you can highlight in to track your patterns, check a box, right? Highlight a win, put a sticker on, flip the page. These little ways that you can keep yourself motivated, that you can give yourself a hit of dopamine, a little star, a little comment, something like that, right? They can be incredibly motivating. And when you track your patterns, not like a habit tracker, right? But more of a pattern tracker. You get to see in real time, like, oh, I've noticed kind of like every Monday, I start the week really high vibe. And then by Friday, my energy is down the toilet, which means my mood is down the toilet. Or like, oh gosh, in this phase of my cycle, I'm always super stressed out and busy. Or maybe when the moon is doing its thing, there's all different things we can track, which I love and is super fun. And when you start to see patterns, you get to understand more about yourself and you get to almost make it a game, gamification, right? Another really great strategy for ADHD brains. A digital checkbox or like crossing something off, it just doesn't give the same neurological reward. So that is my rant, my soapbox moment, why I think a paper planner, and the evidence also proves a paper planner is a really good tool to be able to stay organized, to be able to help with task initiation, with task completion, with prioritization. These are all things that we outline when we talk about how to use the planner. If you have your copy, you can go and check out the video on like how to use it, what it's all about, all the magic touches that we include. It's like accountability too, right? And accountability is something that is so big and underutilized. It's something that I see work magic in the Momentum membership when people come every week and they're like, this is my time to co-work. This is my time to do my weekly plan, right? When they check in with me for 20 minutes once a week and they're like, hey, what are my goals going to be? Cool. Let's celebrate what I did. Great. What's a challenge? How do we overcome it? Having that consistency, accountability, and support, game changing. Okay, to summarize up, we do need digital supports. I am not suggesting that you can go through your entire life with just the next 90 days in front of you on paper. That's not realistic, right? What about the doctor's appointment that goes booked for next year because that's, at least in the Canadian health system, how long it takes to get a doctor's appointment sometimes, especially a specialist. You're not going to remember. You need to write that down somewhere. That needs to live somewhere, not in your head, that is safe and not going to get lost or forgotten about. right? We need these supports to keep us on track digitally sometimes with a reminder 30 minutes before. How am I going to remember to do my weekly planning? Oh, you could set a timer on your phone. We're not excluding the technology. What we're doing is we're using it instead of our end all to be all, our our Bible of time management. What we're doing instead is assigning it the role of an external structure, of a support, right? It can keep the big stuff until we're ready for it. It can help us with those external reminders, right? But those are really only because that is something that takes it off your plate. We're using technology in a way that makes your life easier, not harder. Okay. So you don't have to remember to do it all. Reminders, um, can be really helpful, and keeping things like birthdays in a digital calendar. That's great. You're not going to forget about them because they're there on repeat year after year. So please don't think I'm anti phone calendar. I have one. I use one. It's great. I like to see it on my computer and my phone. I like that it syncs. But that is not where I go and check what's happening in my day. I open my week to my planner and I don't get distracted, and I get all the rewards I've been talking about. And it is simple and focused and intentional. And that is how the Time Magic Planner works with your digital planner, your digital calendar. Okay. I hope that was helpful, guys. I am so curious to know what your experience is with paper planners, with digital planners, what you like, what you don't. If you are using the Time Magic Planner, are you finding that you are more organized and more structured and happier with your time management? I bet you are. And I know you are because I'm hearing from people that this is the case, which makes me so happy. And if you haven't tried it, please grab a copy. You can start anytime. It's undated, which is the beauty of it. And just give yourself an opportunity to try something different if you have been solely focused on a digital calendar. And even if you've tried paper planners before, this one's really different. So that is my call to action, as they say. Pick up a Time Magic Planner, and if you want some additional supports, we have space in the Momentum membership, which you can join monthly. You don't have to sign on for any particular period of time. Either just come to the classes or level up and get the Voxer voice note support and the weekly check-in with me. If you sign on for 3 months, there's extra bonuses and add-ons and all kinds of things. So get yourself the support that you need, whether it is here in the Energy and Hours community or somewhere else. There are so many things that you can do to help get organized, to help get control of your calendar, and start to see some results without feeling overwhelmed and like you're drowning all the time. So that's my PSA for today. I hope you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you again right here, same bat time, same bat place next week.